Alright, this is the unit test for linear functions. It should be unit 2. Number 1 says, which of the following is represented by the graph? When you have a graph and you have to find the equation, first thing you do is identify where it's crossing the y-axis, and that is at 3. Then we're going to pick another point that's on a crosshair so you can identify exactly where that is. We read from left to right, so we're going to do our rise over run from left to right. To get from negative 1, 0 to 0, 3, I go up 3 and to the right 1, so my slope is 3. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. The correct answer should have been A. Number 2, we did the same thing. I crossed the y-axis at negative 1. I found another point to go from negative 1, 0 to 2, negative 2. I go down 1, so that's negative 1, and to the right 2. Y equals m, negative 1/2, x plus b is negative 1. Negative 1/2 x minus 1 should be b. Number 3, determine the rate of change in the table below. I'm increasing by 5 for my x's and increasing by 3.5 for my y's. So I pay $3.50 change in y over 5 pence. So I'm going to divide. When you divide these, the top number goes inside the house. 5 cannot go into 3. 5 goes into 35 7 times. 5 goes into 0 0 times. So that is 70 cents. You pay 70 cents per penny. Number 4, which equation represents a linear function? Y equals mx plus b. There's nothing funky going on with the x. It doesn't have an exponent. It's not in the denominator. So I know this one does, but I want to check and make sure. Here, x has an exponent bigger than 1, so it's not b. Here, x is in a square root sign, which means if I were to, let's say I plug in 4 here. Well, the square root of 4 is 2 and negative 2, so that's giving me 2 different answers. That can't be linear. And here, x is in the denominator. And I know that 0 can't be in the denominator. If I have x here, that means any number can plug in there. But I can't have 0 in the denominator, so it can't be that one either. A is the only one that's written in slope-intercept form, so it is the only one that represents a linear function. Number 5, use the point 0, 0 and 3, 9 to determine the equation of the line. This is y minus y over x minus x. I'm going to do 9 minus 0. If I pick 9 first on top, the x that goes with that is 3, so I have to pick 3 to go on bottom. 9 minus 0 is 9. 3 minus 0 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my slope is 3. Can't be A and it can't be D, so I'm looking at B or C. If you are given a point when x is 0, then the y for that ordered pair is going to be your y-intercept. When x is 0, y is also 0. So y equals 3x plus 0, which is the same thing as y equals 3x. That should be B. Number 6, which table represents a nonlinear function? For it to be nonlinear, that means it does not have a constant rate of change. So for A, I'm going up 1 each time for the x, and I'm increasing 2 each time for the y, so it's not A. For B, I'm increasing 5 each time for the x. I'm adding 4, 7 plus 4 is not 15, so this is nonlinear. Check the other ones. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17, negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. It can't be C. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. That has a constant rate of change. It cannot be D. So the only one that does not have a constant rate of change, the only one that is nonlinear, is going to be B, because it does not have a constant rate of change. For 7 and 8, we're going to do the same thing. Our equation is y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to plug my slope in for m. The ordered pair gives me an x and a y that I can use. I'm going to plug in negative 3 for y and 4 for x. Negative 3 equals negative 1 times 4 plus b. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Bring everything else down. Add 4 to both sides, and 1 equals b. So y equals my slope, negative x plus 1, which is c. I'm going to do the same thing for 8. Negative 2 equals 1/2 times 6 plus b. Half of 6 is 3. Subtract 3. My y-intercept is negative 5. So y equals 1/2 x minus 5. That is C. Number 9, convert x plus 15y equals 3 to slope-intercept form. I'm getting y by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract x from both sides. A lot of you get hung up on this point, but I cannot combine unlike terms. All I'm going to do is write them beside each other. Negative x plus 3. 15 times y to get y by itself, divide by 15. I'm dividing every number on the right-hand side by 15. Negative x divided by 15 is negative 1 over 15 x. If I cannot simplify it to a whole number, leave it as a simplified fraction. 3 divided by 15. 3 will go into both of those, so I'm going to simplify by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Y equals negative 1 over 15x plus 1/5. Which statement about this graph is not true? Well, I'm going up 3 and to the right 1, so my slope is 3. Slope is the same thing as constant of proportionality or constant rate of change, so it can't be that. Slope and constant rate of change is the same thing as unit rate, so it can't be that. The y-intercept is 3. The graph crosses at 0. The y-intercept is not 3, so D is not true. Alright, use the following table to identify the rate of change in the y-intercept. So to find the rate of change, we're adding 1 each time to our x. To get from negative 3 to negative 6, we subtract 3. Negative 6 to negative 9, subtract 3. Negative 9 to negative 12, subtract 3. Rate of change is the change in y over the change in x. Negative 3 over 1 simplifies to negative 3. That is my slope or my rate of change. To find the y-intercept, look to see if x gives you 0. It does not. So I'm going to pick an ordered pair, and I'm going to plug both of these numbers into y equals mx plus b. Y is negative 3. M is negative 3. X is 1. All I did was take these numbers and plug them in. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. I bring everything else down. To get b by itself, do the opposite of negative 3, which is positive 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So my y-intercept is 0. And my slope is negative 3. That is going to be C. Number 12, convert 6x plus 3y equals 3 into slope-intercept form. Means get y by itself. Subtract 6x from both sides. Again, just like with number 9, you guys try to combine these, but you cannot combine unlike terms. All you can do is write them beside each other. 3 times y, to get rid of 3, I have to divide by 3 on both sides. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. That is D. According to the Friday letters, number 13 was hands down the most complex problem. Maria works for the zoo. She clocks the average speed of these 3 different animals. The question says which animal has the greatest average speed. Explain your thinking. You have an equation for a zebra, a table for a lion, and a graph for a giraffe. All you had to do was find the slope or the constant rate of change for each animal. When you have an equation, D equals 67/100 t. That's the same thing as Y equals 67/100 x. All they did was say that the distance is equal to 67ths of a mile per minute or hour. This is in minutes, per minute. So, your slope is the m, y equals mx plus b is the coefficient of x. So for the zebra, that is 67/100. For the lion, for x, we're increasing 10 minutes each time. And to get from 8 3/10 to 16 3/10, that is going to be 8 3/10 plus 8 3/10. We're going up 8 3/10 each time. To find the constant rate of change of a table, it's the change in y over the change in x. 8 3/10 divided by 10 is 83/100. And that's for the line. That's his slope. And then for the graph, we find 2 points. And the spacing for the graph right here, it throws it a little off. But you can pick these two points. You're going to go up 10, to the right 20, and that should be 5/10. So I'm going to put these in order from least to greatest. 5/10, 83/100, 67/100. So we look at our tenths place first. 5 is going to be the smallest. 6 is going to be next. And 8 is going to be last. Which animal has the greatest average speed? 83/100 is the biggest. So your explanation should be that the lion has the greatest average speed because his constant rate of change is bigger than the zebra and the giraffe. All right, number 14 is about Connor and Sheila. It says that Connor starts at a cliff that's 200 feet above sea level and he descends at 10 feet per minute. Sheila, to find hers, we're going up 1 each time for our x. 242 minus 234. We can't subtract 2 from 4, or 4 from 2, but we can do 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 3 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we're subtracting 8 each time. Who has the greater average speed? Sheila is going down at 8. Connor is going down at 10. So Connor is going faster than Sheila. So D says that A and B both say that Sheila has the greater speed, so it can't be either one of those. D says Connor because his is 8. Connor's is 10, so it can't be D. Connor has the greater speed because he is descending at 10 feet per minute. It would be C. And this concludes the review from Unit 2, Linear Function.